Hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis here, and getting back to the seasons, because we've had kind of a crazy week and things get a little busy, but the seasons for Shadowkeep. The main talking point that seems to be going around the internet is this whole seasonal progression battle pass thing, so I wanted to do my own thoughts on it and get it out there. Also, a reminder to all of you, if you are catching this evening or sometime in the morning, we will be doing the podcast live. It will be 8 a.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/Ebontis, the Last Word podcast, where we talk about all things Destiny and for looter shooters and stuff like that. So mostly Destiny as of late, at least. But a reminder out there, 8 a.m. Central Time. That'll be tomorrow, the 6th, on Friday morning. So jump in there, catch us there. But seasonal experience progression. This is the next big topic Luke wanted to talk about. And they talked about the armor stream because there was one little thing in there everybody was wondering about. It's called Season Ranks. And everybody's like, what the hell is that? So Season Ranks are going to be a new thing that they're adding to the game, and it's part of each season. There's going to be a free version, where if you don't buy Season Pass, you don't buy Shadowkeep, you buy nothing, you'll still participate in it. And then there's the other track that is basically part of the Season Pass. So if you get Shadowkeep, you get the first season, which is Season of the Undying, all of the Vex invasions and stuff like that. In a future season, they actually mentioned the next one is going to be Season of Dawn. Say if you just get Shadowkeep on your own, and then you want to buy Season of Dawn. So you buy Season of Dawn. You will be participating in all things of that season, including the both tracks of the Season Pass. So you don't have to buy the Battle Pass on top of anything else. If you buy the seasonal content, just as if you would have bought the Black Armory expansion, the Season of the Drifter, or Season of Opulence, if you bought any of those, since they're going to be a la carte in year 3, if you buy those, you get the Battle Pass progression with it. Everybody calls it a Battle Pass. They're calling it SeasonPass Ranks. Either way, it's pretty much similar. It's something that is kind of going on in other games. Now, something to basically make note of, they are still trying to give you progressions through the game that are direct. Be like, all right, I know if I play this amount, if I play this far, I get to this level in this thing, I'm going to get this. If I unlock the artifact, I go this far, I get this. They're trying to give you direct paths to certain things because they know RNG is still in the game, so a few things of guaranteed loot in certain places, or even just like shards and glimmer and stuff like that, are in there. Now, there are some controversial things. We'll get to those a little bit down below. But they basically wanted to give you an option to not always have to wait on RNG to get everything. And to give you also a reason, I think the biggest reason is they wanted to give you a purpose just to log in and play. So we have the bonus power level when it comes to the artifact, which is one of those. So the more you play, the more experience you get and level up your artifact, you're going to be getting bonus power level on top of your gear level, which is going to be a cool thing. See how high people get. They have no idea. We'll just see. But they also wanted to give you another reason. Just a fairly linear path as you go through and you unlock standard levels based on experience. As you progress through those ranks of the season, you're going to be making more progress and unlocking certain things. Now, they have 100 ranks to this thing, which is cool. Gives you a lot of time to do. Those of us who really want to grind the game out, those of us who, know life it, hardcore it, stream it, for example, they're definitely going to have some more things to work on progressing through. So let's take a look at the Season Pass as we have it on screen here. So as you can see, the director changes a little bit. You've got destinations, map, quests, the store, because we know Eververse is going to be just brought to the director. And then we have seasons. Now, as I said, there are two parts to this. The top one, the gray section, that is going to be even for new light players. Doesn't matter what version of the game you have. You may have not bought Shadowkeep. You may have not bought anything for the new season. If you are still logging in to play Destiny as of October 1st, you will be participating in things that way. The top level is absolutely free to anyone playing, including players playing New Light, which I'll probably do New Light in a separate video because I think we've got just about everything we can learn about that. But as you can see, they get a couple of cosmetic engrams. They get random pieces of armor here and there. And then they also get a couple weapons in certain places. They said by like rank 30 or 35 or 40. They cover it a little later. But the free pass is going to get you some basic stuff for the season because they're just kind of, as you're going along, hey, here's a helm. And, here's boots. Now, as the armor does have tier sets, basically, they have stated that It sounds like something like the raid is going to have a really high stat potential versus like the base free thing that you get is really low stat potential. So some people are worried about this thing giving you pay to win situations, because we'll get to another piece of it later. There's 100 ranks in this. That may sound like a lot for some people. Well, what if you have a really crazy month and you're out of town for a month and you're not able to finish your Season of the Undying, season rank pass? They're going to give you the option, before I get to the glaring exotic on the string, they are going to give you the option in the last few weeks of the season. So Season of the Undying, which likely would have been 12 weeks if it released on the proper day, but it's going to be 10 weeks long. 10 weeks to unlock 100 ranks. If you do 10 ranks a week, that may sound like a lot, but honestly, it breaks down to almost like an hour a day. They said if you do strike bounties and play strikes for an hour, you'll probably get a rank. Even more than that. They said if you have bounties and you're doing strikes for 8 hours, you'd probably have about 10 ranks. And you'll probably be doing other stuff throughout there. But the more things that you're doing, the more that you're playing, you're going to be unlocking more of this content as the ranks you go through. But depending on how people play, and they're going to watch and see how this goes. If the crazy people out there only getting to level 50 and it's taken way too long to go through the seasons, they're going to adjust things and definitely kind of keep that in mind. But they are going to give, not in the beginning, and this is a crucial thing, you can't just log in on October 1st and buy all 100 ranks. It's not going to be an option. You're going to have to play for a while or wait for a while and see where you get to. In the last, they said 2 to 4, but probably the last few weeks of the season, last couple of weeks, say you made it to rank 75, and there's, I don't know, one more thing out there at 80 or 85 or just something else you want to get to, and say it's like $5 to finish out the season pass. Well, maybe you've been working, you've had a crazy month. $5 may not be that big of a deal to you. Now, with all of that being said, being as you have the option to pay to finish this thing out, we have to look at the bottom line now. Now, this one is the one that comes if you have the season pass active. So you have purchased Season of the Undying, or for say Season 9, you have purchased Season of Dawn. When that is active, the bottom turquoise colored line is also going to be what you're getting. You will get the top stuff, but you will also get the bottom stuff. Now, some of it doesn't matter. 10,000 glimmer, I just get that by playing. 25 shards, that's really not that much. It looks like there might be a couple random bounties that you do that might just be giving you, materials and mod components and cores and things like that, and just random things to go do. Now, they did say there's going to be a couple armor sets in here for each class that you'll be able to earn. You see on the top tree, there are a couple of weapons that they're going to give. Those are probably going to be static rolls for everybody to get. And then, right there, smack dab in the middle of the screen, we have an exotic. And this is the giant point of contention about this whole season pass. Now, the big thing we have, it's an exotic engram. If any of you have seen exotic engrams drop on the ground, you know those can be potentially good or terrible. You never know. I was playing through one of my Nightfalls this week, and my final drop and then an exotic engram that dropped on the ground were both Jade Rabbit, a gun I already have. I mean, I think I have pretty much every exotic, but still, I'm not missing much, and definitely did not need 2 of the same thing in a strike. So exotics engrams in and of themselves may not have that much value. They will have potential, though, depending on how exotics can roll and the stat tiers that they can roll with, will have a chance to be at least something that may, be a better stat roll than you have. Maybe I do get, Heart of Inmost Light for my Titan. I'm using that to, play in PvP, and then all of a sudden, this exotic, I get to level 25, I get an engram, I get another Heart of Inmost Light. I'm like, well, crap. But now, with Armor 2.0, this is going to have a chance to have a better stat roll, maybe a more optimal roll. Maybe I'm looking for intellect and discipline for, supers and grenades only, and I don't really care about the rest. And right now my roll is absolute trash for my build, but I still like the exotic, so I'm using it. So it has potential to help you there, but we also get into the argument of, are you paying for power? Is it pay to win? Some people may argue that we're starting to flirt with it. To me, in my mind, if you get to level 20, now this is specifically at level 25. Now, we can't see the other levels, so I am honestly speculating here 100%. So please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This exotic engram is the giant point of contention for a lot of people. But in my mind, if I see this at 25, specifically 25, I might see an exotic at 75 and an exotic at 50. Maybe 3 of them in this entire 100 levels. Now, if there's one every 10 levels, I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably too many. because exotics right now feel undervalued as it is, and if you're going to give one out every 10 levels, the people who burn through this thing are going to have 10 exotic drops pretty quickly, and that's too soon, personally. But on the other side, if you have 100 levels and you spend 100 hours and you get 3 exotic drops in there, think about how long that's potentially going to take you. If you do 10 hours a week, you got 100 ranks, and you get 10 ranks a week, and we have 10 weeks, then by the end of the season, you'll have seen Xur 10 times. You'll be playing a lot, and I know like random exotic engrams don't drop often, but you'll still see a few of those in there. So if you get 3 more over the course of a season that are just guaranteed at a certain point, in my mind, I don't think that's that terrible. Mostly because it gives you a direct path. If you're like, hey, I'm at 24, maybe I want to stay on a little later tonight and grind out and see if I can get to rank 25, see if this thing really helps me out. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I don't think this is going to be one of those things that breaks the game, unless it starts to be like, this is dropping at like, top tier stats, and you've got like faded engram, like roll protection on it, and it includes everything, including the new stuff. I mean, if this is like, say this was working the way a faded engram was, and you could just get year 2 exotics, most of us really probably wouldn't care. It would just be giving us a different roll of stats on an exotic that we already have. It may be something as simple as that, and we don't honestly know. If it includes a new exotic or any exotic at really ultra high stats, then yeah, that could be starting to look like an issue. But I have a hunch it's not going to be that. Could be totally wrong. Who knows? But we can only see 10 levels of this thing, so we really don't know. So let's take a look at what we do know is coming with this thing when you scroll down here of what comes with the Season Pass. And this is where I have a couple other, points of contention to talk about. So if you own the Season Pass for Season of Undying, you get the following. Season Pass owners get access to new seasonal activity, the Vex Offensive, which includes 4 legendary weapon drops, additional weekly and daily bounties, additional weekly challenges with powerful rewards. Now, that just comes from the Season Pass. You have a chance in the activity itself to be getting 4 different weapons. You have weekly and daily bounties because those are going to be linked to whoever the vendor is going to be tied to the season, which is likely to be Ikora. At least she sounded like the voice in the video. And also weekly challenges, powerful rewards. Those are going to come from the difficulties of the Vex Offensive activity. That's totally separate from the Season Pass. Not even in there yet. You're going to get a new quest for the exotic bow, Leviathan's Breath, which is the giant heavy bow, which looks pretty cool. Not entirely sure how they settled on it working, but it is going to be only for Season Pass. Works the same way if you got a quest for Thorn, or if you got a quest for Lumina. Certain exotics have been part of the Season Pass, and you have to have it to partake in them. It's just there. Now, this is where we get into some of the season ranks situations. So the new exotic hand cannon, Ariana's Vow, awarded at rank 35 for, they call the free track. That's pretty much the everyone track. So at rank 35, you will get the gun. So you're probably going to want to get to 35 just by playing the game if you're playing it for free. Now here's where I start to have my first issue. Awarded on rank 1 of, they call the premium, but that's just the season track. At rank 1, I'm getting an exotic hand cannon. Now that I do have a problem with. People seem to be more worried about the exotic engram within the season rank at 25. 25 is going to take a little bit to get to. But at rank 1, I log in and get a new exotic hand cannon. To me, exotics right there start to lose their luster because you're dealing with something that exotic should be powerful. They're giving it to everyone who plays the season. And you're still going to get it for free if you play a decent amount of even New Light. If you just play New Light and level up your character and you get to rank 35, guess what? Here's an exotic. Like, it is a guaranteed exotic without even a quest. Now, if it unlocked a quest earlier, that I might be okay with. A little more so. It starts at early and damn early, but at least if it was part of a quest as opposed to it sounds like literally, here is the gun. That seems early to me because it's like, it's a unique style hand cannon, uses special ammo, has a scope on it, kind of works like a sniper, pretty powerful, has potential to be cool, and if this thing is broken, well, we're going to see it really, really quickly. But also, it's just an exotic just being handed to you, and I am not a fan of that. I really want some way to earn these things, whether it's different activities. Maybe it's the exotic, the weapon quest for the Leviathan's Breath that's, tied to the season. Maybe this thing here is just like a random drop in the Vex Offensive. How many people do you think are going to be living in the Vex Offensive until this thing drops? If it's like a raid drop, you could do it 1 time, 5 times, 60 times. You never know, but when you do get it, it's going to feel really good. Now, maybe they have a little protection on it. Maybe it's like 10, 20, 30, 40 runs. Somewhere they draw a line and be like, all right, you've run Vex Offensive like 50 times. Here you go. At some point, they could draw a line, but I do not like how on rank 1 they are giving you exotic. I'm just going to straight up say it. I'm not a fan of that. I'm curious what you guys think below. Now, rank 35 on the free track definitely gives them some work to do, and maybe it's incentive for somebody to, jump into the season to get it at rank 1. But in turn, that still doesn't have the right taste in my mouth because it is just handing over an exotic. That's just me. Some people may be like, hey, if I buy the exotic, it's a nice way to get something for it, and then I can jump in the new season working with something new. There are some upsides to it. Using a new weapon, part of the new season, not dwelling on old materials and stuff as much. It could be cool to that sense. But in my mind, I still think that is a little too easy just to be like, it's awarded at rank 1. Yeah, I'm not a fan. So I don't know how you change that. Let me know your thoughts below because I'm really, really curious about the exotic engram and then this right here, like getting an exotic at rank 1. There's going to be enough other stuff to do in this season. It's not going to be the only thing, but it does seem to kind of cheapen the value of exotics, especially that hand cannon because it's in a sense being handed to you. Scrolling down a little farther, we have the 3 seasonal legendary armor sets, 1 for each class. Collect a complete set during the first 25 ranks of the free track. So if you play for free, not paying a dime at all for New Light, within the first 25 ranks, you're going to get a set of armor for each class. So if you want to log into a different character, you'll have a set that you can play with. It'll be 750, it'll be armor 2.0. You play enough at level up to 25, you have a set of armor to work with. Is it going to be the best? Probably not. It's going to be basic stats. But it is something to work with. And they said, no, this is a change from the annual pass where you were required to purchase gear from the season, which you're not in this one. If you wanted to play Season of the Forge and you wanted the Forge armor, you weren't able to go talk to 801 and get any of that stuff. This one gives you a chance to get it just by playing the game frequently. Get up to level 25, 25 hours in the game, there's some sets of armor. On the premium track, or the season track, if your season pass is active, you get all 3 sets at rank 1. So you literally log in, you get a set of the, legendary armor for the season, bam, here you go. Now, the big thing about armor is the fact that it's going to be mostly more of a cosmetic thing. You're going to have slots. You're going to have sockets that your mods will go into. You put the mods in there. You'll be picking which mods go in. You'll be messing around with those a lot. But you also have universal ornaments. These are legendaries, so you could get a set of armor and just change how it looks anyway. So that's an option. Now, one thing to know. These also drop within the Vex offensive seasonal activity. So if you're playing the seasonal activity and you have the season pass, this is the key part. If you want versions with higher stat tiers, you'll need to play Vex Offensive to earn them. And that is the crucial part to make note of. You may be getting a set of armor that is like the lowest of the low armor 2.0. It has the, it has the new armor 2.0 system. It has the energy that you would use to level it up. It has the sockets that you'll put the mods into. But its stats it starts with are the lowest of the low. It is basic armor. As opposed to, if you do Vex Offensive at crazy legend difficulty with modifiers on, and you do it in a certain, I don't know how it's even going to work, but you do all these things and you get like tier 3 or tier 4 or tier 5 Vex Offensive armor. You're going to put this free stuff away. You're not going to use it anymore. So this is to get you started more than anything. If you want the good stuff, you're going to have to play the difficult content. Other things in the season, quote, premium track. 3 universal ornament armor sets, 1 for each class. So you get some ornaments just for playing through, which is cool. An exotic ornament for Ariana's Vow. So you get an ornament for your gun by being part of the seasonal track. If you don't, again, 2 legendary weapon ornaments. It's probably 2 legendary weapons that you get through the free track. A new finisher, cosmetic. New ship, cosmetic. New emote, cosmetic. Literally everything in the free track, cosmetic. The other things, if we look up here and see, you've got shards, glimmer. I don't even know what the little box of stuff is here. You've got a tiny amount of bright dust, some bounties, some armor. All of that stuff thrown in there is probably going to say there's not room for a whole lot of exotics for 1. And 2, most of it isn't going to change how you play, make you ultra powerful, any more than if you just grinded for Solstice of Heroes. I did Solstice of Heroes, and I have a set of armor that is going to get outdated really quickly when I start playing difficult activities. But at least it will start me being able to mess around with, armor mods and stuff like that, to toy around with the idea of a build. But as I get a new set of arc, armor, then I'm going to probably have better stats than the basic stuff that I get. So that's most of what we've got here with the Season Pass. Let me know your thoughts below. I know this one was long-winded, but we definitely have the point of contention here with this exotic sitting in the middle. And also my thought, just more of the fact that the new exotic hand cannon, which is like a special ammo hand cannon with a scope, is going to be handed to you at rank 1 or earned at 35. 35 at least feels like you had to get there a little bit. I don't know, maybe at 25 you'd get it on the season pass, and then 35 you'd get the ornament. I don't know. But it just feels way too soon personally for that. So that's where I have my main issue with the season pass, is they're kind of handing us an exotic and it's a brand new hand cannon type and all. But in my mind, the exotic Engram is likely not going to do anything between all the armor, all the weapons and potential that you have with that Engram. I don't really see that as something that's going to break the game. Now, if there's an exotic every 10 levels, again, as I said, that's probably too many. But in my mind, on the other side, if it's like 25, 50, and 75, probably not one at 100, that'd be something else. But if there's like 3 over the course of a season, in my mind, it's kind of a woo. You're going to see Xur 10 times, you're going to go through and play, and if you get through 50 levels, you're probably going to be seeing a few drops anyway. A couple more guaranteed at some point throughout your playtime is not a bad thing, just to know, be like, hey, I'm missing exotics, I miss Xur, oh cool, this actually gave me something I could use, at least got me a start of something. So me, the exotic Engram is lower, but the exotic that you're given as an award at a rank is the higher issue for me. So let me know your thoughts down below. I know this is a long one, but I did want to get mine out there. Again, if you are catching this tonight or in the morning, we will be recording September 6th. It will be 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern, live on twitch.tv/Ebontis. If you guys haven't followed me on Twitch, follow me there. I stream at random times. I got to work on a schedule, but my schedule's all over the place, so it's tough. But you can follow me on Twitter. Follow me there. I'll try and tweet when I go live, and then also on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit the alert bell, and you guys will know when new content from me is coming to you. So have a good one. Enjoy your grind. Let's work through the rest of this Mars event and finish this thing up. My word of advice, do some Nightfalls. Outside of that, I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Enjoy your week.